What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some exciting boxing news. It looks like 2013, minus all the injuries, is shaping up to be quite the year. Off the top of my head, I could think of several bouts that are scheduled that I really want to see. Devin Alexander versus Kell Brook, that had to be rescheduled. I'm looking forward to that. Should be a good eliminator fight. You got Floyd Mayweather moving to Showtime to face Robert the Ghost Guerrero off 2 wins at welterweight. Austin Trout versus Canelo is supposed to be finalized on that undercard. You have Guillermo Rigondeaux versus Nonito in April, and Danny Garcia versus Zab Judah. I mean, I can keep going on, and these are just fights that have been made. Brandon Rios versus Mike Alvarado. It is a rematch, but the first one was definitely thrilling, so I definitely wouldn't mind seeing a rematch to that fight. Just a lot of good stuff in the sport of boxing. Now, it looks like we have yet another one that me, as a boxing fan, I would be anxious to see. And that looks like Abner Mars versus Ponce de Leon. So, you guys may remember Ponce de Leon for his fight with Adrian Broner, excuse me. I know a lot of people remember that. Daniel Ponce de Leon, he definitely gave can't say this dude's name. He definitely gave Adrian Broner problems in that fight, and I think he has the ability. There's certain fighters in the game that have the ability to make good fighters or elite fighters look less than spectacular. I think Marquez is one of those fighters that you could be a good fighter, but he has the counterpunching ability. Floyd Mayweather is another one. And you also have guys like Carlos Molina at 154. That Carlos Molina, he just has an awkward style that can make you look bad. Quintana is another person at 154 that has just an awkward style and can make other fighters look bad. Ponce de Leon, he's cut from the same cloth. Awkward fighter. He's aggressive. He comes to fight. He has heart. He's a warrior. And this is Abner Mars' first fight in a new division because he's moving up. As you guys know, he just moved up to 126. And he's fighting the WBC featherweight champion, Daniel Ponce de Leon. And Ponce de Leon's record is 44-4 losses, 44 fights, wins, and 4 losses with 35 knockouts. And this is supposed to go down April 20th. And as an added bonus, they're talking about the Josecito Lopez versus Marcos Maidana fight on the undercard, and Ponce de Leon as the main event. So I'm really looking forward to that. I think that'll be a hell of a fight. I think this fight would be on Showtime. I don't think I've ever seen Abner Mars fight on HBO. So I'm pretty sure this would be a fight that's on Showtime. So it looks like Showtime might be taking over boxing, especially with cards like this. Marcos Maidana most recently fought on Showtime against Jesus Soto Caras on the Canelo versus Josecito undercard. Josecito obviously was on that undercard too, or he was the main event on that card. And I mean, that's good. Ponce de Leon versus Abner Mars. I'm really looking forward to it. I got to give Abner Mars nothing but props. He's definitely hungry, young, and he's fearless. He's fighting a feared person, or a person, as I mentioned earlier in the video, has all the potential in the world to pull an upset, all the potential in the world to make it a rough night, all the potential in the world to make it an awkward fight. And Ponce de Leon's going to bring it. Abner Mars is going to bring it too. So props to Abner Mars for moving up in weight and following suit with a lot of people that moved up in weight and took on some stiff competition. Adrian Broner, whether you guys like him or not, he took out the #1 guy in his first fight at 135, and that was the #1 ranked guy, Antonio DeMarco. Brandon Rios did a good job too. He moved up to 140, and he fought an undefeated Mike Alvarado, and he won by TKO stoppage, I believe, in the 7th round. So that's what boxing, in my opinion, needs. More guys like Abner Mars, more guys like Adrian Broner, Brandon Rios, all these guys that are young, hungry, and they have something to prove, and they're willing to fight whoever. I definitely would like to see Abner Mars versus Nonito in the future, depending on the Guillermo Rigondeaux versus Nonito outcome. Abner Mars possibly could get made if the promoters can work together, Top Rank and Golden Boy. But to me, this is great news. Ponce de Leon versus Abner Mars. I'm really looking forward to that. That's going to be definitely a clash because both of these guys got heart. And as a lot of people know, Adrian Broner, I got to watch the fight again. I know Adrian Broner didn't look as spectacular as he's looked in recent fights against Ponce de Leon, but I think Adrian Broner, I thought he barely won, like he barely edged out a victory. but I got to watch it again, really analyze it round by round. That's the type of fight, again, a person like Ponce de Leon, you got to analyze more than one thing because it's not a clear domination. Again, Adrian Broner definitely didn't look like he has against other opponents. It's kind of like the Richard Abril versus Brandon Rios. You see Brandon Rios steamrolling through other dudes, and then he got to Richard Abril, and Richard Abril just made it an awkward night. And I think Richard Abril should have beat Brandon Rios in that particular fight. But again, I got to watch the Adrian Broner versus Ponce de Leon, especially since they announced Abner Mars. My question to some of you fight fans is, if Ponce de Leon has a close fight and they give it to Abner Mars just because Abner Mars is more of the golden goose, I guess you could say, or more of the golden boy prize fighter that they've been putting money into. You could tell by the backstories that they give and whatnot. Are you going to give him slack like you guys give Adrian Broner? Because all I hear is Adrian Broner sucks. He couldn't beat Ponce de Leon. And again, this is a tough warrior. So I just hear a lot of slack. A lot of people, in order to discredit a fighter who's currently on top, people like Adrian Broner, he's moving up the pound for pound ranking. People like Floyd Mayweather dominating in the sport 16 years. They want to bring up close fights, which every fighter has. Not every fight is going to be a walk in the park. So with Floyd, they bring up the Castillo one, even though Floyd rematched him later that year and beat him even more convincingly. They bring up Adrian Broner versus Ponce de Leon. And again, Ponce de Leon's a warrior. I take nothing away from him. I have to watch the fight again just to really analyze it from the first viewing and the first times I've seen it to determine how close it was. But I think I had Broner barely skating by with the victory. But again, I'll watch it again, especially in preparation for this. I just want to know, if Abner Mars has a tough night, are you guys going to be like Abner Mars, Ponce de Leon? Because realistically, Abner Mars versus Egbeko, the very first fight, he was throwing a lot of low blows, and that was a really close fight. But Abner Mars is not as... he's cocky, but he's not flagrantly cocky like Adrian Broner. So, again, this goes back to a previous video. I think a lot of you guys judge Adrian Broner not based on his skill set, but based on his personality. You don't like that. And Abner Mars is more fan-friendly in terms of his personality. He's not over the top or anything like Adrian Broner. He doesn't rap on his way out, anything like that. So I think you tend to give fighters a pass based on who you like. Abner Mars had a tough night with Egbeko, but nobody brings that up. Like, oh, Abner Mars. But with Adrian Broner, they definitely do that. So that's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think. I'm really excited. Josesito Lopez versus Maidana on the undercard. That's going to be an amazing card if they can work it out and finalize it. Let me know what you guys think. Ponce de Leon versus Abner Mars. Huge step. Moving up in weight to fight a guy like that. Very ambitious. I like it. Let me know what you think. Until next video, it's Ego signing off.